I'll hit record. We'll bring this beautiful community meeting into action. February 3rd, 2021. Welcome everybody to our wonderful community gathering. We're so lucky to be able to have these, especially during this unique time in the world. We have so many things to talk about today, but we'll go ahead and we'll offer up the beginning of the call to anybody who wants to ask a question or share a win. Now, the OGs, the old gangsters, know that, Jackie and Lori knew that the formula used to be that you shared a win and then you could ask a question, but it's really whatever you want to do. If you want to share anything at this time. I think my friend Shauna is going to be on. I don't see her yet. She was going to share. Shauna, are you on?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Happy birthday. You didn't tell me it was your birthday.
I know. We had work to do. So Shauna, why don't you tell everybody where you're from, and a little bit about you. You go ahead and share anything you want about your AmpCoil experience so far.
Okay.
Shauna is also an ambassador for us, and she's just about to do one of her first demos in the San Francisco area.
Oh. Yep. See, I'm borrowing your room for a minute. I'm going to borrow my daughter's room where it's not so crazy.
Love it.
We just got a new puppy. It's a little bit of chaos. Can you guys hear me? Is this good?
Sounds great.
Okay. I live in San Francisco and I've been using the AmpCoil for about a year, and I just finished the whole Lyme series like a week ago, and it just felt like such an enormous milestone. Oh my God, it took forever. I'm so married to my boyfriend, the AmpCoil. I literally use it every 5 days a week, an hour and a half every night, and I have for the last 13 months. And it has totally overhauled my health. It's really amazing the difference between now and a year ago. I was relatively functional a year ago. I could still work and everything, but every afternoon I had to fall asleep for 2 hours, like rain or shine, and never altered. I needed that 2 hours sleep to be able to get through the day and raise my kids. And now I don't. And it's kind of a trip. I didn't think I would ever experience days again where I didn't feel fatigue set in at a certain hour. And now I'm almost getting used to it. It's so trippy. And just last week I caught a cold, which was not COVID, but I got a kind of a crappy cold. And I once again had that feeling of being exhausted and needing to sleep in the afternoons. And I just felt like such a spoiled brat about it, because I have gotten so used to feeling full of energy and being able to run around and not having to plan my days around resting, that I was really bummed. And I had to remind myself, you are doing great. This is temporary. It's not a permanent lifestyle the way I thought it would be before I found the AmpCoil. So I think that maybe even more than, I'm not sure, it was probably a combination of everything, but really the brain reboot and the mental clarity journeys were enormous for me in terms of restoring brain function and feeling like I just had the kind of capacity to make it through the day with my brain functioning well for the whole day. It was when I started running those journeys at least 3 times a week that it was pretty immediate too. I just felt such a change, and really it just feels like the energetic charge of my brain shifted, and I was just wide awake all day long like a normal human being. And now I'm starting to take that for granted, which is like, oh my God, I have to remind myself, this is really a big deal. This is, not something I should ever take for granted. It's extraordinary. That's my story.
Extraordinary win. We're going to give you a little jazz hands for that.
Thank you.
Shauna,
very happy.
I'd love you to share, I actually heard you before you were an owner of an AmpCoil. I heard you on a podcast.
Right.
You were talking, Nicole, yes, Shauna was on Dr. Nicole Rivera, Dr. Nick and Dr. Nicole from Integrative Wellness. And you were talking about the meditation tracks you make specifically for people going through Lyme and chronic illness. Do you want to share a little bit about your tracks?
Sure, totally. So when I first got sick, I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I'm a movement therapist. I was a professional modern dancer forever. And now I've been teaching Pilates for 25 years or something like that. And all of a sudden I got sick and couldn't move. And so instead of moving, I would lie down and meditate, and I would use visualizations that I kind of came up with to help reharmonize physiological symptoms that I felt were really out of whack in my body, like the lymphatic system or the detoxification system, the kidney and the liver, or the limbic system in the brain. And I found that if I went into a deep meditation where I was really visualizing these systems in harmony, that the crushing fatigue and horrible symptoms that I was experiencing when I was really sick with Lyme would alleviate enough that I could kind of get up and go make dinner for the kids before I had to lie back down again. So for me, that was, it was the first thing that made a difference in my health, because of course I was going to conventional doctors still and getting like, oh, all your test results are normal, so you must be crazy. Here's some Zoloft responses. So the meditations for me were transformative. They were the first thing that actually helped me. And I wound up recording them. And then I wound up through this like super serendipitous chain of events, working with somebody I hadn't seen for 20 years, but who had used to have been a close friend. And as a music producer, we wound up hooking up. He had one of his best friends was really sick, which with what turned out to be Lyme disease. And he helped me create and record 6 different meditation tracks, and he did the music for them. And by the time we produced them, I knew I had Lyme. So I set up a website to share the meditations with other people who have Lyme or chronic illness, and to write about the different ways that I use meditation and eventually movement to help me in my healing process. So my site is called redkitemeditations.com, and the meditations are all there, as well as my blog that is about movement and meditation that I use to help in my healing process. And now I blog about the AmpCoil also.
I love it. Thank you for your share. And we really appreciate
Thanks for letting me talk about it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Mute
Thanks for all you
myself.
do.
Of course.
Woohoo!
Ready? I would love to share.
Please, Caroline.
So I broke my foot on Saturday, and I have been using the AmpCoil every day on it. And I tell you, I cannot believe the difference in 4 days just using the AmpCoil. And I mean, I'm using red light therapy as well, but incredible difference.
And
Yeah.
Caroline, what are you choosing to run?
General detox. So far I've done general detox 14. I'm going to be doing 15. I think I was told 5 as well. I had been doing the immune boost as well. And they may have told me 1 or 2 other things, but it's out of my reach right now. I'm actually doing the infrared while I'm on this call, so I can't move right now. But yeah, it's been amazing. I want to prove to orthopedics that there are some other modalities that work with fracture healing.
Amazing. Good.
But I've had my AmpCoil for almost 2 years. I went through the entire Lyme program. I have to say, we don't have Lyme's clinics in Canada. And I just on Friday visited a Lyme's clinic for the first time ever in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I have to say the AmpCoil is the only thing that carried me through and has gotten me to this point with Lyme's. Yeah, I'm so excited about it that I just recently this month opened up a detox clinic in my daughter's salon, and or spa, and the AmpCoil. I have a whole bunch of people waiting with bated breath. I told them probably by the end of February we're going to be introducing the AmpCoil.
Now, is that going to be in North Carolina or in Canada?
Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
I have so many people I can send your way. We have a lot of friends in Raleigh.
I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm so excited for what it has done for other people. And just seeing it with friends and family, I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away.
That's incredible. Caroline, can you share, so you had an incident, you had something come up for you. How did you connect with support?
With AmpCoil?
Yep.
Oh, well, it was just random. I tell you, for me, it's divine intervention. But I was at my chiropractor's office, and the receptionist there said, "Oh, you know what? I know somebody in town who has Lyme's. Do you want to connect with them?" And I said, "Sure." And then she had an AmpCoil. And I said to her, I said, "Wow, you know, I would love to get one of these things, but, you know," and then she introduced me to somebody who was selling theirs secondhand. So
Mhm.
then I got involved with it that way. But it was just
Well,
sheer coincidence that I ran it. I would have never, I mean, in Canada, what? No.
and more specifically, when you broke your foot, just so some people are on here who've just got their coil, they're thinking about
Mhm.
how do you work with support? Like, what is your chosen way? Do you go message through the tablet? Do you do the
Yeah, I
phone?
messaged through the tablet. Yeah,
And you just do a
yeah,
live chat.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just, yeah, we just chat back and forth. I mean, I know now the things to say, and then, you know, I just wait for their response on, you know, what modalities they think would be best. I mean, I had pretty well nailed it. They added a few, but yeah, it was great. The support is, I can say, second to none. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're perfect in how they respond, and the speed at which they respond. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Caroline.
No problem.
Thank you, Caroline. It's Lori. Nice to hear.
Thank you, Lori. Does anybody else want to share? I'm looking for Jim. Do you want me to unmute? You had a hand up. You can unmute your microphone, Jim, if you want. Sometimes as long as it's Jim. Sometimes, Jim, you have great blades of grass behind you. If Jim doesn't want to go, oh, Jim was just clapping.
Oh,
Thank you, Jim. Elaine, do you want to go?
sure. I've had Lyme for about a good 30 years now, and I just got my coil about 4 years ago, and I was under a lot of stress, but I'm just amazed at the difference. It's kept me functioning, you know. I mean, I was pretty non-functioning there for a number of years, and it brought me up to a place where I can do things again. And I had to move recently from the Bay Area up to Washington State,
Mhm.
and I feel like I'm finally settling in so I can try some Lyme protocol. So it was really great to hear somebody talk about how much it's helped. I've always done, just use the voice memo and try to from that figure out what to do.
Mhm.
And I've had a lot of help. I usually call and talk to, I think it's Marie. She's been great. I love the support team. They're just so helpful and so willing to make suggestions. And it's just been a life since. So I'm just saying, thank you.
That's amazing. Elaine, you've had a coil for 4 years?
At least 3. I've
At least
kind of
3.
lost track of time, but at least 3. Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I have
you must have one of the original ones then.
yeah, it's big. It's big and heavy, but I love it.
I love it. Well, this is not a shameless plug, but one thing we do offer our existing owners is that if anytime an existing owner wants to upgrade to the newest version, you can call the AmpCoil acquisitions team. You can make an appointment through Calendly, or you can just call and hit the extension 1 for sales. And I think it's $43.95. It's nearly 50% off of a brand new one. And that's a new tablet, a new coil, new amplifier, new warranty. So we do have people
And
take
that's for the
advantage of that.
small 3.0, Freddie.
Yeah, 12
Let's
pounds.
be clear.
Yep.
Yeah, 12
Oh.
pounds.
Yeah.
And so you think that's better than the old one?
No, I don't think it's not better. It's just 12 pounds versus 38. And you
Uh-huh.
get a new device and you get warranty and you get all the new engineering and all those fun
wow.
things. Yeah.
Oh,
Just an
well,
option. Just an
yeah.
option. Yeah.
So I would mail it in or something.
Yeah, we take care of that for you. You hold
wow.
on to your new one till we send you the brand new 3.0, and then we'll send you a shipping label.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah,
Thank you.
always an option for the future.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, Freddie.
Awesome. Does anybody else want to go? I'm scrolling.
Hello.
Chad.
Hello. My name is Chua, and I'm just kind of new here. I was,
Chua.
yeah, I was new, and then I was struggling with this line for a long time, and just cannot get me out. And after 7 years, and I was introduced by Marjorie, and try to use the AmpCoil, but seems like it's not working at all. I don't know what to do.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Chua. Hi,
Yeah, hi,
Chua, my dear.
Marjorie. Yeah,
This is Lori. This is Lori.
Laurie.
Chua's become my best friend. You know, we've talked about this a lot, and I don't, there's some underlying stuff going on, Chua, that, may not make the AmpCoil, as effective for you as it is for most people. And what that is, I don't know. It's generally energy related, and in how you work with energetic medicine, how your body works with energetic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that the device is working. We hear sound check, we get magnetics. So I'm not sure. We can talk about maybe another option of trying a different machine, but because you are getting magnetics and you're getting sound checks, the machine is fine. It's just, we can't guarantee that it's going to work for every single person. And unfortunately, there are very few and far between that's the case for. So, we can continue to talk about this. We've been, going through this for a couple of years now. And my heart is with you. And I really want you to get better. I just, there's some people, it's just, their energies just don't react as well. That's all I can say on that.
Yeah, I didn't know you were here, Laurie. I didn't see you there.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I keep trying. I never give up with this, but I still never give up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Maybe the way
I'm
I did
empty.
something wrong. Maybe the way I did wrong, or
You
maybe
haven't done anything wrong. And so, we can talk about this, tomorrow if you want, or I don't. For anybody else that's trying to contact me in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be limited availability. But
okay.
let's talk when I get back from my 2 weeks. And
Yeah, Chua, the other thing I'll say is that, you just sometimes it's and I know you've been working with Lori, but sometimes another thing you could do, you could jump on our Friday call. We have a Friday Zoom call that we do, and it's just kind of a refresher course. We go back over the basics. We just kind of take everything from the beginning. And, even if you've been with AmpCoil a long time, sometimes it's just you pick up a trick or two on that new user training call. And there's people are also on there. They're coming into the journey. So they're coming in with a fresh energy. Sometimes just hearing where they're coming from can shift things a little bit.
Oh, okay. How do I get those information?
Yeah, we'll invite you. I'll have Jessa invite you to that call.
Oh, you have my, how do I, oh, okay, through Marjorie, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, we can get I'll get your email.
Oh, okay. Okay. Are
Thank
you
you,
who I'm
Chua.
talking to? Who I'm talking to?
This is Freddie.
Oh, Freddie. Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Chua.
Thank you, Freddie.
Okay. Awesome. All right, team. Anybody else want to go? I have a couple of people have sent me from overseas. I have some like New Zealand testimonials and stuff. We would do real well in New Zealand. But I want to give anybody a chance.
Chad said he'd like to share, and I see Joan raising her hand.
Chad. Where's Chad's screen? Joan. I see Joan. Joan, go ahead.
Chewy, I just wanted to encourage you to hang in there. I hear all these wonderful testimonies of people when they first got the AmpCoil, and sometimes I hear things like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what is the matter with me? It took me a long time. I got worse. I had some pretty bad symptoms. I was already told that every organ was closing down and they did not know why. And so I was selling things. I was getting rid of things. I didn't want my family to be burdened with the leftovers when I was gone. And lo and behold, time went on and I started to adopt other things like, I feel like AmpCoil is a sandwich. It's like the bread. The bread is a substance and it's fulfilling, it's complete, it'll hold you over, it's pretty solid. But sometimes you need something else with bread, like a sauna, an infrared sauna, a red light therapy, to complete your sandwich, your lettuce, your tomato, your avocado, to make it just the right combination for you. And you are the only one who can discover what that is. It took me more than a year to figure what that combination is. And all those things that I've mentioned are my combination. And then all of a sudden, there was a shift. It was amazing. So don't give up.
Mm.
Thank you.
Joan, that's beautiful. Can we give Joan jazz hands right there? Little shimmy finger. Thank you, Joan. That's beautiful. I would say the same thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So moving.
Is it Joan?
Yes.
Joan, thank you for saying that, because my wife has a machine and uses it in her clinic, and she brings it up to me on weekends, and I do 4 sessions, 4 days in a row, and then it's gone, and then it comes back, and then it's gone. And today I've had a major setback. Like, I've really gone, I responded really well. Now I've had a major setback. And as soon as Freddie gets off his butt and gets them to ship me my machine, which I bought at the end of December, we're going to get going at this steady. But I thank you for that. You answered my question.
Well, you are very welcome.
Unmute and unmute you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So just be patient and stick with it once it gets here. I'm gonna make Freddie drive it up. Like, he's not that far away from me.
Borders
Freddie,
are closed, baby. Borders are closed.
I'll go down and get your permission.
Thank you, Bob. Good to see your face. All right, where's Chad?
So cute.
Oh, there we go. Go ahead, Chad.
All right. Is that good? You guys hear me?
Yes.
So we've actually just received shipment of our new AmpCoil. We got it on Saturday, and we were borrowing, one second here. We were borrowing a very good friend of ours, Marcus Martinez, for the last 12 weeks. And this little guy here, he'll turn 2 at the end of the month, had some pretty severe eczema that just kind of popped up back in May. And my wife and I really, really struggled. We've been to 4 or 5, I guess, Western medicine doctors, and all they do is, they come in, they write a script, they look at him, they say, here's your steroid, and we'll see you in 4 weeks. And my wife does energy and healing work, and we just didn't accept that. And we got on a program with Dr. Deb Drake, who everybody I'm sure is familiar with in the AmpCoil world. But in combination, I was listening to a couple of the people speak earlier. The iconic foot bath, this AmpCoil, and kind of some major changes in diets. But I really like the idea of things working together in order to kind of heal. And although my son, he's not too happy right now, and he looks like he has some bad eczema on his face, but it's actually just orange marker. And this is the best he's looked in probably 12 weeks. And we really attribute the AmpCoil to a lot of the success. And like I said, my wife does energy and healing work, and we were just blown away with the success with this AmpCoil. And we're really, really excited to share it with some other folks. There's some people here in Encinitas who have children with eczema. We talked to a doctor, holistic doctor, who said that she has never seen in 25 years this amount of eczema in young kids. And I think it's a combination of a lot of things with environmental toxins and the whole 5G, that type of thing. But we're just really, really impressed Come here, Bodie. Come here, Mama. Come here. Okay. We're just really, really impressed with the whole AmpCoil, plan and journeys. And I had a spinal cord injury about 20 years ago. And Dr. Drake has gotten us set up individual plans. And that's the biggest part of what I really love about it, is the fact that you can specify, for individuals' needs. My wife had Graves' disease. My son has eczema. My daughter's dealing with some stuff too. So I just really love the fact that you're able to individually set up journeys, and to share it is just awesome. So thanks for letting me be a part of this Zoom.
What's that little guy's name?
What's that?
What's that little guy's name?
This is Bodie.
Bodie. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, so like I said, my wife and I did Landmark, and this sharing, along with like AA, is just a really, really good way. My friend Marcus sent me over a Zoom invite literally a few minutes before this started, but I said I gotta hop on there, and I love the fact that you guys are doing share programs, and the AmpCoil, we're just huge fans. We dealt with the big heavy 38 pounder, and now we have the 12-pound machine, and there's so many journeys on there that are appropriate for what's going on today. And also, things that are going on just for decades. So we're just super excited to have the AmpCoil in our house. And I also have a nonprofit for spinal cord injuries. And I was just talking to Dr. Drake 2 days ago over the weekend, or 2 days ago, on Tuesday, and Monday, I'm sorry. And there's just a huge opportunity for the AmpCoil in the spinal cord injury world. And I just feel like there's huge benefits involved with this machine. And again, thanks for letting us be a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Beautiful, beautiful share.
Hey, Chad,
Hi,
what
Chad.
journeys are you running for eczema?
Excuse me.
Yeah,
What are you running
journeys?
for eczema? He asked.
Oh yeah. We use the jacket. There's 2 journeys for the jacket, which Dr. Drake told us, to kind of get started with. He's dealing with some kidney and some liver issues. I have a non-alcoholic fatty liver. Just these cleanse and the organ tune up and the hercs. But the jacket is specific to his eczema. And like I said, we've just seen results in the past few weeks here. We're getting really, really frustrated. And I just got to the point of being, with Western medicine doctors. I mean, it's. I hope I don't offend anybody in here who's a Western medicine doctor, but the individuals that we've been to out here in San Diego, it's just a joke. I mean, you walk in and they just look and they say, "Oh yeah, it's eczema, and here's your steroid, and here's your cream. It's not as strong. It's stronger than last time because that one didn't work." And then they walk out, and it was so frustrating. But the results that we've seen, and we attribute to a number of things, but the AmpCoil is I really love the fact. I think it was the last woman who spoke, and it's just part of the sandwich. And you have to believe, and the gentleman that was just speaking about, having the AmpCoil for, I guess he said 18 months or 24 months, being part of the sandwich and the journey, I think is a really, really good way to look at it. And, we just had to think outside the box. My wife's German, Romanian. Her mom was a healer. Her grandmother was a healer. And, the Western doctors, they're kind of open to it, but, the fact is they just write prescriptions, and we just gave it up. We gave up going to CVS because, we don't have a prescription plan, and we're spending hundreds of dollars on these creams that, one, we don't want to put on our son, and secondly, they don't even work. So, the AmpCoil has just been part of that sandwich that has been successful for us. So we're just super, super stoked.
Amazing, Chad.
Well,
Thank you
Chad,
again.
this is Lori, and I just wanted to, I wanted you to say hello to Marcus, because anybody that remembers way back when, poor Marcus was the one who had his device stolen from him, and he worked so hard to get another one. And then turn Chad on, and your son is just charming, and the whole part about the sandwich, is something that I've never really worked on with Chua. Chua has gone through every single journey in the AmpCoil, but it is about the package. So that's a really good thing to say. And thanks for bringing that up. And I guess Marjorie would like to know, what is the name of your nonprofit? Would you like to put it in the chat, or?
It's called the Desatnik Foundation, which that was a selfless or selfless plug. I didn't mean to promote it by any means, but basically I suffered a spinal cord injury about 20 years ago surfing in New Jersey. I was told I probably won't walk and I will not surf again, and I got involved with another organization called Life Rolls On, which is a quality of life program that takes individuals with spinal cord injuries surfing and into skateboard parks, which is a great day in New Jersey. But what we realized is that people who suffer spinal cord injuries deal with it 365 days a year. And, the medical expenses and the emotional support that our foundation offers to those that suffer the injury is just a small piece of their, getting better, the caretakers and the parents. And, I kind of look back now, I'm in my 40s, I have 2 younger kids, but, I look back at my parents who were there to support me. You realize that, the last thing in the world that you want is for your child to have to go through anything like that. And the eczema is ironically something that Marcus went through. And our foundation, like I said, we basically just offer financial and emotional support to those that suffer spinal cord injuries. We're based out in New Jersey, but we have a broader reach. And I can post the website. I guess we're small in comparison to like the Reeve Foundation or the Miami Project. Yeah.
Can you cut it out, Miss Peanut Butter?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm just really, really blessed to be a part of these organizations that help other people out. I still surf. Obviously, I'm walking. But the trials and tribulations, Dr. Drake, we had a long conversation on Tuesday. She wants to have these AmpCoils set up with like the lounges for those living with spinal cord injury, whether they're paralyzed or not. And I'm just blown away with the power of this machine. And I guess I'm relatively new to it, but the reason like the FDA and all these different, so-called medical professionals are not open to it is because it works. And I'm just really, really, a believer in this thing. And Dr. Drake, I don't know if any of you had a chance to talk to Dr. Drake, but that woman, I don't think sleeps. I don't think she breathes. I think she's superhuman. You have conversations with this woman and literally not because you want to chime in, but she just has so much information. And through Marcus, we got linked up with her, and we're just really, really lucky to be on this journey. And we changed our diets, and we're kind of going through this together. But the AmpCoil world, I was just Marcus literally texted me at 4:29, said get on there. So I kind of got on here. So that's where we're at. And I know you guys, probably have a limited time here, but I'll there's my 2 cents and then some.
Thank you, Chad. Post that link in the comments for everybody.
You got it.
Thank you. Mona, do you want to talk? Is that a clap or a hand raise?
Yes. Hi, Freddie. It's a hand raise. How are you? Happy birthday.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you.
Mona, are you in Ohio? Is that true?
I am. Yes.
What city?
I'm in Canton. So I'm about an hour south of Cleveland.
Beautiful. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I love listening to everybody's stories and so inspiring. And I just wanted to share in my own personal experience here, I got introduced to AmpCoil probably a year and a half ago and was working with a practitioner friend of mine, and maybe like once a month. And the more that I was exposed, I realized that's probably not enough for some healing. And I certainly had some things that I wanted to work on, but I don't have Lyme's disease or some of the other more serious conditions that other people have that they're working through. But I certainly had some things that I wanted to work on. And so I got my own AmpCoil last May. And so I've been primarily working with it for myself and my immediate family, but recently started working with a couple close friends of mine. And the things that I think is really special is, you know, I'm pretty tapped in and tuned into myself and what I am looking for and what isn't working. But we don't always realize the more minor things that all of a sudden are also better too. So I was so focused on so many things that needed to be better that I almost missed the other things about my body, my spirit, my energy, sleeping, skin tone, or just other things that got so much better with the AmpCoil journey. So I would just encourage people to kind of be in tune with maybe some of the not so obvious stuff that you think are issues and realize, now that I think about it, that's a little better too.
I love it. Great share. Mona, it's that level, it's a level of awareness, but sometimes it's really hard to track our own change or our own improvement.
Well, you know, and the interesting thing is one of the people that I'm working with is a doctor of occupational therapy. And interesting that you should say this person who is such a resource for so many others hasn't taken the time for their own self and is realizing, you know, and I'm not a doctor of anything, I'm just a person. And having someone else to talk with and share with to get the brain stimulated to thinking about self-care and self-love and self-awareness that academically and clinically is such a resource for other people, and hasn't used that same knowledge for one's own healing. So that's something we're working on, and that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, that's amazing. Mona, thank you for that great share.
You're welcome.
Good to see
Thank
your
you.
face. Yes.
Yours too.
It's funny. I have a couple. Do we have any more hand raises here? I'm going to just check the screens. Awesome shares, everybody. It's so inspirational. So funny enough, you know, we're talking about the sandwich. We're talking about all the things that can complement the body, the bioterrain, the energetic field, and what will shift when we do that. I've been asked to contribute to a book on transformational technology, and you know, essentially from me doing a podcast about all these devices and technologies and everything you can imagine over the sun, and now I've gotten to the point where I'm 2 years in, so people send me stuff all this time. And it's amazing. I almost can hear, but even before I get it, you know, I whatever it is, there's some far out stuff. There's some wild stuff I'm trying right now. But before I even get it, I can tell by the descriptors, and I have a filter which I put everything through. You know, I have these qualifying questions. And so I made a list. My contribution to this book is I put my filter in. So what do I ask myself before I invest in technology? You know, and I thought I might just share a really little 2 paragraphs from this. So I kind of go down, I look at quality, I look at the community around it, I look at, is it static technology or is it upgradable? The who is the person and what is the condition that person is bringing into the equation? Does it bring me closer to nature? And then just an awareness around what's happening in the world today. So I thought I would just share this 1 paragraph about, is it a treatment? And then we'll move on to a couple more things we're going to cover. So is it a treatment? I attempt to assess if a new biohacking tool or transformational technology is dealing with the root cause of dysfunction, or is it just managing my symptoms? This will be an individual exercise in its nature. I like to think of the body, of the struggling body with a chronic issue, similar to a tire with a nail in it. It's leaking air, and you've got to pull out the nail and patch the hole before adding air to the system. In my humble opinion, there are so many wellness tools out there that just add air to a leaky tire. There are very few that pull out the nail and create a patch. This gets complicated because each intervention will depend on what you are using the technology for. I'm going to give you 2 examples. HBO. Hyperbaric oxygen chambers. They're amazing. I think they're incredible for traumatic brain injury. They can dramatically oxygenate the tissue, choking, and even help the immune system. The science is there to support this on PubMed. However, if someone is going to sell you 20 sessions for a few $1,000s for chronic Lyme and promise a full recovery, the results could possibly be limited. You didn't teach the body how to breathe or to supply oxygen to the extremities. Quite possibly you paid a bunch of money and results that don't last. So now you were out a large investment and you've got nothing to show for it. This is a typical frustrating experience and can leave hyperbaric oxygen in a pile of technology labeled, air quotes, that didn't work for me. The reality is it probably did work for you, but you've added air to a leaky tire. The air filled the deflated tire for a time, but how you perceive the benefits was limited from your understanding. You're not broken and it's not a failure of the science. In my experience, you simply got the order of operations wrong. However, at this time, if it's step 48 out of 50 and funds are limited, this expensive mistake can be incredibly triggering. Example number 2, vitamin IVs. They're an incredible way to deliver nutrition. I've seen them work and I've seen them underperform. My challenge with this intervention is you've done nothing to address the root cause. My question to you is, why are you not digesting nutrients or minerals through the gut wall? And how much are you willing to spend to see results? From my personal experience, I've sat next to people in infusion clinics, and I always start out the conversation this way. So how long have you been doing this? How much has this helped you? Often the response is 6 months to a year of multiple infusions of Meyer cocktails at $275 to $400 a piece, and the person still looks like death warmed over. I feel like if money is an unlimited resource, then this isn't a question. However, if finances play a role in your decision-making process, consider the math and see if it's worth your investment. In my experience with watching lots of football games, Hail Mary passes work. They just have a very low percentage of completion. Family, friends, and I have had this experience with stem cells, intravenous ozones, and many other fringe treatments. The things that didn't work does not mean they don't have value or are not amazing. The reality is they did something. I did the research before the person was convinced it was the thing that was going to bring me from horrible to amazing. However, I've come to view health as a big game of chess. There are so many pieces on the board you'll need to move around to take the queen. Wellness is a long game. So anyways, thoughts on all those things. You've got to consider it. There's nothing, I would take away the label I would take away the label of good or bad and just realize that all these things really do work, but it's just organizing your game plan. I'll give you another good example. This is a tri-field meter. So this measures magnetic fields in the home. So I felt like really amazing in Reading, Connecticut for the last year without any Wi-Fi. And this meter is like off the charts in downtown Buffalo. There's a smart meter on the wall. If I move into the bedroom, there's no field, but in the living room, it's 80% higher than what it should be at a healthy range. So I'm standing that all day, every day, you know, and I'm only staying here for a month at this Airbnb, so I can do what I need to do to recover, but it's a level of awareness, simple things like that. It could be an environmental thing you don't even know is there. It could be, you know, my sister just bought a home and the home's dry, and I'm like, make sure you test the walls for moisture. And they pulled off the wallpaper in the foyer, and one wall was floor to ceiling black mold. You know, this stuff exists, and we've got to look at this, our modern day building world materials. This is the world that we've created. This is increasingly toxic. And that's just the level of awareness we need. So whether it's the foot bath or the ionic sauna with the AmpCoil and the meditation tracks, I really believe we can all find a formula that works and you'll move forward. And I think our state of being dissatisfied with walking in and getting the steroid cream or the injections or just the months and months and months of antibiotics, I think that's falling away for people. And I think they're realizing there's a better way. So I will step off my soapbox. Does anybody want to wax intellectual or share on that? I do have another testimonial from New Zealand that we could listen to if you want me to share that as well. It's pretty darn
That would
inspirational.
be great, Freddie. Yeah.
Want to
Hey,
do that?
beautifully said. I can't applaud you more.
Hi, Deb.
I love your reasoning.
I channeled you.
It's great. Way to go, man.
I'm going to share this recording here. Okay, so we'll go to music. We'll optimize for video clip. And we'll go share iTunes. Just give me a thumbs up, Jackie, if this sound is good.
Tell you this story because I know it's your Friday when you listen to this, which is technically
A little bit louder.
But after listening
Yeah, let me do this. Let me turn up volume.
I just have to tell you this story because I know it's your Friday when you listen to this, which is technically a work day. But after listening to you talk about deliverables on Clubhouse this morning, I think sometimes we lose sight of the impact that we have, and we just don't realize how much that good we're doing in the world. So this little boy is so traumatized. Like, I've been able to do amazing things with him, but he lives in Prague normally, but like he's a Kiwi, but his family lives in Prague. Anyway, during the holidays, maybe like 3 weeks ago, his uncle, who's like on psychotics, like really crazy, tried to kill his dad and tried to lock him and his mum up. It was just awful. Anyway, he's been very traumatized. So this was his first time that I've been able to see him in the clinic. And so after a session with me and in the AmpCoil, his mum's just messaged me now. Like, he normally won't go swimming. He's like scared of everything, and he was like screaming and like so traumatized in a session with me. But we just kept going. Anyway, his mum just messaged me to say her son is just totally different, and he could go swimming for this first time ever. Like, the dad didn't even believe the change in their little boy. Like, they are blown away and just so grateful and so thankful. And that was literally a session with me using Apex Energetics, Adrenal Calm, an oil, and the AmpCoil. Like, how crazy amazing is that? Like, I am so grateful that, like, you impacted his life from helping me, Carrie, my staff member this morning, sort out AmpCoil. Like, if we hadn't have had the AmpCoil today, he wouldn't be swimming in the pool for the first time ever and just bouncing and just this little carefree 5-year-old child. Like, these parents are so grateful for the transformation. So I'm so grateful to you. A very long-winded way of saying thank you, and just know the difference that you're making on people's lives indirectly through helping me, like just all of these things that we just forget about. And it is so worth it. And I'm so grateful to you, Freddie. So thank you.
All right, all the way from New Zealand.
Beautiful. Wow.
And we have to take a double bow to Lori and the support team, because they really rallied. And it is our support hours, they're based around US hours. So our team does go above and beyond, and it is challenging to support people on the other side of the world, but they do it, and they do the double work for it. So thank you, Lori, as always. All right. Oh, I have one more thing. I have one more share, and then I will just open it up to the floor. Any and all questions around AmpCoil. One thing that we've tried to do, we manifest always bettering the process of being onboarded and buying a device, and what happens between the time when you order an AmpCoil and the time when it arrives at your door. A lot of times there's a lot of waiting. And one thing that we've wanted to create, when you buy an AmpCoil, the process is somewhere along the way we program the tablet, we put your email in. So not until that time do you have access to the Owner's Help Center or the AmpCoil Academy or the videos. What we've done is we've done a password protected page for users. Oh my God, you guys are you're gonna have to look at my mug again here. But we've done a password protected page for users. So upon purchase, we have a secret page here on AmpCoil, and we can just go through and just have access to a linear flow of getting started, unboxing, AmpCoil pathways, navigation and login menu, discover page, general detox, how to do a voice print, cleanse overview, and device care. So this will be a really nice thing where people can train before they get their device. If anybody wants to make use of this page, also in our AmpCoil universe, just ping me. And that's not going to be up on ampcoil.com. It'll be a password protected. All users can obviously get to the AmpCoil Academy in the Owners Help Center under AmpCoil Academy, but we've done that just to bridge that experience. And the last announcement I have is we'll be doing our first ever AmpCoil practitioner webinar, February 8th and 9th. What we're doing in this practitioner webinar is we're going to, because we have so many practitioners that adopted this technology at the beginning, lots has changed. So we'll be going over language. We'll be going over all the assessment tools that we have, the HRV, the thermography, the BioWell, all the great data that we've collected for practitioners to use for marketing to show the shift. We'll talk a little bit about the new HRV software we're using that does heart rate variability and ECG, predominant brain waves. And then how people are working with this with rental fleets and clinics, price structuring, all geared towards a practitioner. If you're a practitioner, or maybe you want to become one, or you know somebody that this is right for, just shoot me an email at Freddie@AmpCoil. I've got a live webinar invite we can send them. I can send to you. If you're interested, you can message me on here and I will shoot that your way. But that's something we're going to be doing our first 2 practitioner webinars. So with that, I turn the floor over to anybody who wants to unmute. You can do *6. Caroline, totally, I'll include you. There's 3 minutes left to talk.
I know what we can do for 3 minutes. Oh, it looks like Marjorie wants to say something.
I'll be real quick. I had my blood analyzed with a live blood microscopist, nutritional microscopist. And I had it done in November, and she said it looks great except for heavy metals. So I did a heavy metal cleanse, and I had my follow-up last week, and she said there were no heavy metals. And now I have to work on mold and yeast, because when you cleanse the metals, you got to go into mold and yeast. So that lined right up. And anyway, she was just blown away. She looked at my husband's blood too, and she just couldn't believe how clean it was and how tight the membranes were and how little waste there was, extracellular waste. So just another thing that confirms the efficacy of the device.
Awesome. Thank
Seeing
you.
is believing, seeing is believing, feeling is believing, but seeing is good too.
I love it. I'm gonna send this link. Go ahead, Jessa.
Okay. So, I mean, this call fell right on your birthday, Freddie. So I just want to take a few minutes to honor you. I know that some people, this is your first call, but there's also many of us that join every month and know and love Freddie. And I was dreaming up all of these different things that we could do, but I really just want to say that, Freddie, you have brought so much to AmpCoil, and I feel like, you're kind of like the face of AmpCoil at this point, and sometimes that's really glorious, and other times it's challenging because so many people who come to AmpCoil are going through a healing journey. And I love your authenticity, and I know your authentic heart, and that you're here in this company because you feel personally called and you've had your personal journey. And I just think that's so beautiful, and we're so lucky to have you. You've really done so much for this community, and just so grateful for you. Bless your life. Thanks for hosting this call every month. It's like one of my favorite times of the month. And I think a lot of us can agree. It just feels so good to have this community. And you make it. You've been giving so much to it for the past few years. And yeah, so I'm just sending you all the love, and I just want to take a minute to allow others on this call to also kind of feel that for you and send you the good birthday blessings. I'm so happy that you're alive and vibrant, and thank you so much. Yeah. Can you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
So can I jump in and say something? This is Faye. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So happy birthday, Freddie. I feel really lucky because I accidentally spontaneously sent you a present last week. So that worked out in the universe. But beyond what a godsend you've been to AmpCoil, I know for a fact a number of people who have just benefited, just with people that you've spent extra time with, and the gifts that you've given people, the connections that you've given to them. And so, yes, for AmpCoil, and also I know there's so many people like myself out there as well, people that you've introduced me to and helped me with it just in my personal and business life. I'm forever grateful. And I wish you a very, very happy birthday. Love you, Freddie.
Love you. Thank you, Faye.
I hope you had a chance to scroll up and read all of the birthday love that came in at the beginning of the call. And I was talking to Jackie before the call, seeing if we should plan something big, and she was like, I don't know if Freddie would want to have so much attention on him. And I was like, come on, he's a Broadway star. But the call fell exactly on your birthday, so you're just gonna get a little extra love in.
Yeah.
I think Bob's got his hand up. Do you know how to unmute, Bob? Did you want to talk, or you just?
You know what? Well, I don't want to take away from Freddie's birthday. Come on. I'm not a spoil sport. But he went faster. When you showed that screen where you went for people waiting for the machine,
Yeah.
you went right to the top right, didn't you? And then I saw the ones come on. You started at the top right?
I had that all pulled up. So Bob, because I think your device is going to ship like this week or next week.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I'm dying up here.
Or you're going to come down and get one. If you go to the AmpCoil Help Center,
yeah,
and you hit the drop down menu, and you go to if you go to Help, drops down to Owners Help Center.
Right.
You'll be queued to log in. So you'll put your email and the password. Once you go in there, it's just the bottom row. It says there's a blue button that says AmpCoil Academy.
Okay.
And Bob, I can send you, if you don't have access to all those training videos right now, I can send you that tonight.
Okay. You have my email?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know, because I already phoned him once and said, any idea when it's coming? And he goes, come on now. He says, it's only been 3.5 weeks or whatever. Yeah, okay. But I'm a little impatient. Do you think I'll get patient when I get my head or what?
We can make a journey for that.
Yeah.
Nah, don't bother. At my age, I like still being hyper.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, everybody. Well,
Hey, is Freddie too old for a birthday